Today I woke up with the idea of making 2026 stationery. I know it's late, but I feel like I've been designing very serious stuff for like a month. I've been buried in client work and I haven't done anything for myself. So my plan for today is to design a wall calendar and a mini desk calendar. Hi, I'm Laia. I'm a brand designer and strategist from Barcelona, and I share design videos as I try to navigate how to run a successful design studio whilst creating content. I'm working with a rather big client on a rebrand for their business. Tomorrow I have the third brand strategy session, and so far it's been great. They've communicated that they really like the workshop that I've been doing and that they're getting so much clarity for their business and their brand and where they want to go, which is essentially the goal or outcome of a brand strategy session, that, it sets the foundation for the design and for the next years. So today I thought I'd show you what I include in a brand strategy and all of the exercises that I do with the clients for either a rebrand or for creating a brand from scratch. So I have the exercises here. Each exercise is basically made to uncover part of the brand strategy. Once the client has filled out a strategy questionnaire, which is available in my shop for free. You have the brand strategy questions as a PDF, so you can go ahead, download them for free, have your client fill those out, and once they have been filled out, you can then work on those exercises with the client. So for this, I use FigJam. As you can see, I have here different boards. So here, for instance, the first exercise is called the whys, and it's very useful for uncovering the brand's vision if they have like trouble articulating it, which was my client's case. You literally just write out the mission of the company in the top, and then you ask why like 3 to 5 times to uncover the purpose. So you, for example, would start with an obvious answer like, we sell sustainable shoes, and then you ask why that matters and you repeat that like a couple of times. The next exercise, it really helps you define the brand values. You create 3 columns. One is the keep, one is the drop, and one is the add. And you basically list all of the current brand values and some values that you think the brand could have in the future, and you realistically ask yourself if the brand is actually being truthful to those values. So you want to keep them, you put them in the keep column. If the brand is, saying they have those values, but they're really not acting on them, so you put them in the drop. And then you have a column for add. So if you identify any values that you would like your brand to have or that you think they're necessary to move forward, you keep them or you add them to the add column, so that in the brand strategy you can highlight that and you can create strategies to actually be truthful to those values. Then to uncover the brand voice, you have the traffic light here. So you basically use like a light system to classify how your brand should speak. So you write out the adjectives and decide how your brand always sounds. So you put them in green, sometimes sounds, so you put those words in orange, and then how your brand should never sound, and you put them in red. And so this is great for setting like the messaging and brand voice / personality aspect of the brand strategy. Next exercise is the value wedge. This is probably my favorite exercise to do, and if you really just have time to do one, do this. This helps you uncover the competitive advantage, and it's very productive to really understand how the company is managing their business. And I don't know, I feel like companies sometimes think they have something that's an advantage, but then when you actually ask questions and you ask them to articulate why, or even compare them to the competition, you realize that it's not really an advantage. So this exercise is great for, one, uncovering the competitive advantage, and second, really understanding how the business functions and what they do and how they operate. So for you as a designer, it's really useful. The concept of the value wedge is basically finding out what you do better, equal, or worse than the competition. So to do that, you start by listing a bunch of attributes in your like in the industry. So for instance, price, quality, number of languages supported, I don't know, like it really depends on the industry. But yeah, you just list a bunch of attributes, and then what you do is you one by one ask the company, does your company or your business do these better than the competition, same as the competition, or worse than the competition? Then you have the moments of truth, which is another good one to identify the competitive advantage. You basically ask, in which moment does your client decide to trust you? So for example, a customer calls support and their question is answered within 2 minutes by a real person. Like that's a moment in which your brand just demonstrates trust and the client wants to trust you. Next exercise is the positioning map here. So you basically draw like a 2x2 chart with relevant axes. So for instance, price versus value, or something like that, like something that's relevant for the company. And then you place the brand in one of those quadrants, and then you also place the competition. So this is a very visual way to identify where you stand, where the competition stands, and if there's any gap in the market that you can fill. You also have another exercise, which is the archetypes, and it's used to analyze the target audience. So you basically pick the archetypes like the explorer, the hero, the creator that best fits your audience. So then you can create like a buyer persona, which details all of their motivations, their frustrations, their values, like all of the things that makes your target audience themselves. And then another favorite of mine is the customer journey, which is basically a huge table in which you outline all of the customers, like the customer journey that they take from awareness, so like being aware they have a problem and they need it solved by a company like yours, until they become loyal. And for this to really work, I feel like you need to include all of your touch points. You need to identify potential pain points and moments to delight the customer, and write out how they feel. You can also write the actions they take and the moments in which your brand can interact with them. So these are all of the exercises. I know there are a lot, so depending on the time you have, the budget of the customer, and even like the scope of the branding, you can do all of them, or you can just do a couple of them. For me, this project is very big and the client really needs to set a foundation and create a brand strategy almost from scratch. For me, it was very important to really understand the company, and that's why I'm doing all of those. But again, you can do as many or as you really want. So it's a very good morning today. I'm right now creating a project proposal for a potential client. It's actually a referral from another project that I worked on and that you can actually see on this channel. The project was for FullHD, which is a brand that, well, it's an organization that raises funds for minority diseases in a very famous hospital in Barcelona. And it was actually one of the most fulfilling projects that I've ever worked on, and it's also one of my favorite brandings that I've ever created. So this potential client of mine found the logo design from a Pinterest post, and he actually knew the founder of the other project that I worked on. So he asked him, and yeah, he gave me a referral. So I'm very happy. We had a call yesterday. So right now I'm just creating a project proposal presentation with all of the necessary information. I create my presentations using Figma slides, and I have a template that I created for myself so that I can just change the content, and it makes my process so much faster. It's a bit later now. I finished the project proposal, so I'm just gonna send it to the client and hopefully we can work together. It kind of feels like Christmas. Okay, hear me out. So every 5 to 6 years, I change up all of my tech because it usually becomes obsolete. So this year, it was one of those years where I just purchased all new things and I upgrade all of my setup. And since I love tech, I wanted to share this with you in case you also are interested in, new equipment, or you just like seeing things. So I'm gonna start with my biggest purchase this year, which is my new iPhone. I had the iPhone 11. It was a phone, but it wasn't really useful for me. The battery was horrible and the camera was useless to me because since it wasn't very good quality, I wasn't able to film with my phone. And when upgrading, it was something that I had very clear. Like, I wanted a phone so that I could film in 4K and not have to take my camera everywhere. So I decided to buy the iPhone 16. Something else that I also bought is a new Apple Watch. I used to have the Apple Watch SE, like the first generation, which is the cheapest Apple Watch you could get. And it worked very well. However, I wanted to start tracking my health more intentionally and have better stats. And so with my old Apple Watch, I just couldn't do that. I even contemplated getting an Oura Ring. However, they were very expensive and they came with a subscription, which I didn't like. So I decided to upgrade my Apple Watch because with this, I can track all of my health. So I decided to purchase the Apple Watch Series 11. And with this, I can track like all of the things that I want to track with my health. And it's just new tech. It will work better, battery is better. So yeah, I decided to also splurge with this. And then something that I don't have here because I already set it up is my new monitor. I say new, but I've really never had a monitor at home. I've always worked a 9 to 5, so I always had a monitor in the office, and so at home I just worked with my laptop. However, now that I've been designing and spending more time home, I feel like a monitor is going to be great for more admin stuff. I didn't purchase the best monitor out there because my iMac has an amazing screen and I didn't want to spend like 1,000 euros on a monitor. So I just got a regular monitor, and what I liked is that I can turn it vertically. So if I'm doing admin stuff or designing, I can have it horizontal, but then if I'm working on a web design project, I can turn it and it's, the screen's vertical, which is very useful. Something else that I got is a very big filming package. So a couple of months ago, Insta360, which is an amazing company, reached out to me and asked if they could send some products so that I could test it out. And I obviously said yes. I was actually looking to buy a gimbal for myself because I thought that that would make my videos look better. So they were so kind and they decided to gift the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro to me. This is not new because I've been using it for a month or so, and it works amazingly, like so easy to use, and it's got so many functionalities that just make your workflow so much easier. They also gave me the AI tracker, so I can just connect these two and have my phone set up there, and then I can move around and the camera just tracks me and I don't have to do anything. It's super easy to set up. So I've been really enjoying this and I'd really recommend it if you're looking for a gimbal. Like, in terms of quality, this is really, really great. And so I thought they were just gonna give this to me as, a present and I could test it out, but I wasn't expecting anything else. However, yesterday I got a huge package that I didn't order and I was like, that's weird. And they gave me like all of the best equipment to film videos with. I just wanted to share it with you because to me it's just so exciting. This equipment is amazing. It's very professional and it's something that, I wanted to get for myself. So the fact that they just sent this to me makes me so happy. So the first thing that they sent, and I feel like that's just like the best thing in this package, is the Insta360 X4 Air, which is a camera. But this is not like a regular camera. This is a 360 camera, so you can just film yourself and then it films 360. So then when you edit your videos, you can just select which frame or which frame you want to include. And so you don't have to be worrying about, oh, I just need to position my phone here or here. Like with this camera, you can film in 8K 360, so you just place the camera, film whatever, and then you can choose the best shots. It's just mind-blowing to me. So I'm very excited to use this especially when I travel or when I just go do outdoor stuff. Like, my boyfriend's really into skiing, for example, so he was very excited to get this because if you put this with this, you can have like really cool videos. This is basically a selfie stick, but it's invisible. So you just plug this in your camera, you film yourself like this, and then once you're done filming, you can erase this with the app. So this becomes invisible. So you have like a very cool video of you just working out or doing something. And then to go with this, they also sent, they were so kind, and they sent a micro SD, which you know, if you film content, you know, this is very useful all the time. Then they also got the quick reader, so you can just plug this in your phone, you put your SD card here. So basically the workflow would be you film with your camera using the card, then you extract the card and you put it in this quick reader, and this you connect to your phone so that then you can download all of your videos in your phone in like seconds. And yeah, it's very, very useful. And then they also got me the lens cap, and so this is just a cap so that you can put it in your camera and then it doesn't get, you know, scratched or anything. So this is for the camera. And then they also got me the mic Air, which is just this very tiny mic. It's a Bluetooth mic, so you can just put it whatever and it captures amazing sounds. This I didn't know they made, so I'm very excited. You know, I was aware of the cameras because they're very popular, but I didn't know they made this, so I'm very, very excited to try it. So that's it for my shopping spree. I know it's a lot, but I'm again very grateful to brands that just trust me to test out their equipment and decide to give me this. And yeah, I'm also grateful that I'm able to afford, you know, updating my tech or changing up my setup every couple of years, because, you know, I know that's not the case for everyone, so I'm very grateful to be able to do this. So yeah, I'm gonna test them for sure. You'll see in my next vlog, I'm going on a couple of trips, so I'm for sure gonna bring all of these things and just test them. So yeah, I'm very excited, very grateful. I don't know, today's a good day. I feel like the energy is nice. So with this, I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. I don't have much else to show you. Just wanted to say thank you for watching if you've made it this far, and don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss any of my future videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!